Hello. Oh, what's going on here? Wow. Evening. Welcome in, Max. Welcome in, everyone. Hello. How are yous? Yeah. Hope you're well. Happy Friday and all that. What way are my levels there? Yeah, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. That music too loud, too quiet? Windigo, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good Friday. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather actually, so I'm not sure how long my voice will hold up, but we'll see. We'll see. It might get to a point where I can't do it. So, but we'll sure. Look, we're here anyway. And what I'm going to do is I had been working on this game, and I'm going to just have another little look at it and see how we are. A sip of Baileys, yeah. I'm all out of Baileys. I have no Baileys. I'm kind of like, I'm feeling, because my head feels, I'm drinking some cordial. Janitos! Oh, there's the man himself. How are you? Welcome in. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Janitos. He is the current maintainer of Amiga Blitz 3 and putting quite a lot of work into it. I think everyone will agree. Welcome in. Hope you're well. Let's see, does this still work? It does. Oh, that's old. Yeah, I must update that actually. The latest update is 3.11.1, and I think there's a 3.11.2 due out soon. So yes, yeah, delighted to hear that. Yes, I know you'll be annoyed at me now because I'm gonna go and use 3.8 or something like that. It's the same setup I've had for ages. So I'll have to do a stream when 3.11. When you release that update, I'll do a stream using it because I like some of the good stuff that's happened recently. DSCC, Happy New Year! Welcome in. Okay, now where are we going? Yeah, let's have a look here and see how we're doing. Where were we? Skyblocks. Oh yes, so I had been messing with the sound, so I've got my to-do list up here. I plan to set up my 1200 Amiga Blitz this weekend. Yes. Amiga Blitz is awesome, I have to say. Released tonight. Oh, there you go. Speaking of 3.11.2, there we go. So the next stream I do, I will have a look at that for sure, because I think it'd be interesting to show all the changes, all the extra nice stuff that's in there. But that is very happy music. I'm going to turn that a little bit down for myself. I don't know if it's too loud for you guys, or is it okay? Anyway, let me know if it's too loud. Now, so this is, I'm not sure if everyone here has seen this, but this is just a simple little game that I'm copying basically from a little kids entertainment unit that was on one of the ferries. But absolutely cool. Good to see you, and enjoy your night in town. I remember nights out. But yeah, all good. Thanks, and yeah, we'll chat soon. So this is a game that I blatantly ripped off from that. So the game itself, I think, is more or less finished. Just needs some polish. What I wanted to do was add a high score table. Nivrig was in last time, and he suggested having a. Is that right? Oh. He suggested having what's it called? Like a sort of competition mode where the scores are calculated differently. And I might have a look at that yet. But what I've done is I was trying to get the sound samples all down into 64K, and actually turns out that the Amiga can play 128K, and it's 64K words, and each word is 16 bits. So I actually had I was being unnecessarily harsh with my budget of sample size. So, so what I've done is I've updated the music quality. So instead of 8K, it's 16K, 16 kilohertz, and it you know, there's definitely an increase in quality because of that, and also for the game over. So I think I need to fine tune them a little bit, but we'll give it a go and see what that's like. Amiga Bill's illegitimate son, welcome in. Hope you're well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the mods, and that music sounds a lot better than it did. The only problem is it doesn't loop cleanly, so I'll have to get rid of that last symbol on the thing. And have you? Jeez, everyone's in tonight. Oh, I'm sorry guys, because I'm not quite well today, so yeah, that's slightly unfortunate. And this is the idea of the game, and it does some more music. Yeah, if you were here last stream, have you? I made a mistake in that I was trying to cut my samples down to fit into 64K of RAM. Turns out they can do 128K. So yeah, and it was just 64K words, 64,000 16-bit samples, if you like. But yeah, so I've actually doubled the quality of the samples of the music loop. I'm not sure if you can hear that. Can you? Was a size limiter, like, yeah, we'll turn it up a little bit. So this isn't for a game jam. This is just a very, very simple thing that I'd started last year, and I kind of like was half working on for a while. But the idea being that you pile up the blocks, and every time you overlap a block, every time there's a bit of the block overhanging, you lose the overhang. So your block gets smaller and smaller as you go up, and it also gets faster. But what I've done is I've increased the pitch of the music as well as it goes up. So you'll see now in a second. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. Oh, not the wrong keyboard, the wrong screen. So there we go. So it's just the music speeding up as well. So it's a very simple game. That's it. And when you miss, it's a game over. So that's. So we've got 14 blocks on there so far. 17. Ah! Oh, now here's. No. Okay, that game over sample is the wrong speed altogether. This is in Blitz, yeah. So a couple of things I want to do. I want to tidy up the gradient in the background, and I found out that the gradient looks a bit weird. It's entirely my fault because I'm loading in a palette that has awkward steps, because I picked two colors that weren't sort of like evenly spread, and so the steps are a bit awkward. So it's nothing to do with Blitz itself, and everything to do with my terrible artistry. So yeah. So it's Blitz. This is our stuff here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more work on. It is OCS, yeah. I could go all out and do an AGA version that has, like, you know, loads more shades of colors for the blocks and a smooth gradient in the background. But that's like massively overkill for a game like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo those sound samples, because there's something wrong with the. Well, listen again. The game over sample is wrong. The wrong frequency. Oh, it was actually right there. So, it should pitch up. Oh, yeah, and an FPU. Oh, what happened here? So was there? Oh balls! Yeah, this doesn't really work in Blitz when you do that, because it tries to evaluate the variable and jumps back in, and yeah. Okay. So do we count that as a crash? Was that a crash? I think that was just getting stuck. Not really a crash. I'll leave the counter at 0. Okay. Well, we were just talking about that. We haven't tried it. I haven't tried it, and Honitos, who did the update, is actually in the chat there somewhere. 3.1.2 is going to come out, be released tonight, hopefully. So what I'll do is next stream we'll have a look at that and see the different features that it has. So that's a plan for the next stream. Sorry, my voice is going already. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, it'll almost certainly be released by the time I'm doing my next stream, which is probably a couple of weeks, maybe. I don't know. But yes, I'm looking forward to trying that out. Now, so what? Now that's slightly worrying because that shouldn't ever get to that point where it blits outside the bitmap. So something is, I've miscalculated something. I'll have to catch that later. What was I going to do? Yes, I need to tidy up the... Oh, I want to see if getting the tower high enough will change the frequency of the end music as well. No beer, no wine. I'm not feeling very well tonight, and I've got a bit of a sore throat, so I might get an old lemsip or something. You know, sort of a hot lemon drink just to soothe the throat. Now let's see if the music stays up pitch like that. It does. Okay, no, the music is actually working. The background copper is not fixed yet. But that's entirely my fault. I figured out why that is. That's just me making a terrible spread of the palette, because I did it in 24-bit, and then when it's rounded down to 12-bit, the steps are uneven, and that's all that's wrong with the palette. So I just need to manually tweak that and get a nicer palette. I had picked kind of like, you know, nice sky colors, but I might just have to go with something stronger. So some tea or a lemsip, yeah. I'll do something there. But at the moment, oh, it's nearly gone. I was just drinking some cordial, so ginger cordial, which is nice actually. So yeah, we're gonna go back and clean up that audio sample first. So what I was using for that was HDRec, which is written in AmiBlitz and is quite an impressive bit of software. So this is our original file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to what elements duplicate. I'm going to put that on a different thing. So down here we're going to have our single loop. So at the moment I had made a double loop, but I'm actually kind of cutting it short. But because it was because if I do that, that's 256k of music at it's a 256k sample at 16 kilohertz. So if I want it that long, it has to be 8 kilohertz, or I can do the half length of it and loop that at 16 kilohertz, and I think it sounds better at 16 kilohertz. So we'll do that. But what I want to do for that is to remove the last symbol. Actually, if we move that over here... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Move. We can go with that and see how it sounds. It sounds a little bit funny when you do it like that, but let's do that, and then what we'll do is we'll cut half of this out. So that's 8 bars long. So we're going to cut this to John. John, welcome in. Yes, I am in a way for my sins. I am I'm the first to hold my hands up and say I'm not a musician. But yes, I'm making a very simple, very annoying loop of game music for this game I'm working on. So that's basically all this is. But this is using HD Rec, which is written in Ami Blitz and is quite a comprehensive MIDI tracker, MIDI sequencer. Sorry, it's not really a tracker. But what I want to do is, oh, why won't that select? Edit. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. What did I want? Yeah, I'll show you what the actual game looks like now in a second. So I just want 4 bars. So that I want to cut it off there. Why won't you select? Why? Why? Okay, right. So that sounds very quiet to me. And let's exit that. It should only be 4 bars long now. Yes, it is. So that's it. So if we no, we want to mute those 3. What? Oh no, that's not what he wanted. Not what we wanted. Now if we play it, it should just play 4 bars. And then loop. So I'm going to export that and downsample it and bastardize it until it fits into Blitz Basic, into the Amiga's 8-bit things. It's a general MIDI sound font. So so what this software has, it has a sweeper in here which is basically it's basically a synth, but you can load a sound font into it, or you can or you can create a, oh no, that's that, or you can use like sort of like mathematical patches and generate the waveforms yourself. So you get 4 different waveforms there, and you can do some pretty cool stuff. A lot of it is very far beyond me. I play with it for hours, and hey James, welcome in. I play with it for hours and make all sorts of weird and wonderful noises, and then kind of forget what I learned and don't make anything with it. It's just kind of fun to poke around with, but it's quite cool. And so that's it. It does work with full MIDI stuff, and has a keyboard, so you can plug a MIDI keyboard into it and control it that way, or I use the on-screen one, or direct into the notation editor. Yeah, it's quite cool. And what else does it do? So it does have quite a decent MIDI setup, as far as I can tell. But I'm, like I say, I'm not an expert. You would be more of the expert at this than I am, John. But it does let you route and kind of reconfigure, so you can swap channels and send one channel to another channel. So that depending on your setup, you can swap external instruments without swapping cables or addresses or anything like that. Or without changing the actual sequence, which is quite cool. I've only ever used it with one keyboard, so I don't think it makes that much of a difference to me. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. Anyways, I was doing this. It's in Ami Blitz, as I said. So I've marked out those 4 bars, and we're going to export that as a WAV. But we're going to change it to, because the level is quite low on it, we're going to change it to 16 kilohertz, and we're going to leave it 16 bits, so we've got some headroom for adjusting the volume on it. And we're going to do that as main music 16k.wav. Okay, so that's done. Now we have to convert it to, oops. Yeah, we want to save that actually. So we do actually have to go out of here annoyingly, because the other program I use is Sample Z, or Samples, which is another great program with a batshit crazy interface. Actually, you know what? I saw that this has settings for opening on a different screen, so I'm going to do that. Dun dun dun. Project. This is the problem. Where are the settings? You can see project about. Where did I see settings? I'm sure there was a way of opening this on a separate screen. This is what I mean. It's mental. About no. Info frames, info time, stereo, audio. Yeah. Okay, no, maybe we won't be doing that then. There is a way of doing it. Where is... Oh, I see where it is. I see where it is. Samples and prefs. No, it's here. Here we are. Workbench screen. Own screen. There we go. Now, at least we can lay it out and not be all over the place, all over Workbench. So what we need to do is we need to load in our sample, which is actually quite a low volume. Files. What? I mean, projects. What's this one called? Blocks. And main music 16k.wav. So it's 256k. That's the exact same music. That's fine. So what we need to do is we need to select all of it, and then we do our volume. Where's our volume control? So maximum. So this is what would be called normalize, I suppose, on like Audacity and things like that. So we do volume. So now sounds much louder, much better. That's what we wanted. That means, but you need the volume to be as high as possible for when you convert it down to 8-bit, so that you minimize the noise that's in there. So now we're going to save it as an 8-bit sample. And it should be just under 128k because it's 256k there. Main music 16k to IFF. Actually, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do this. It's 256k. I can't play that anyway, so we'll just save it over that. Main music.iff. Main music 16k to IFF. This is what we wanted. 8 SVX, 8-bit mono. Yeah. Now, if we load that into our program up here, where we go? Main music 16k. That's the sample we want, and now it should play in that loop. So this is the game, John. It's a very simple game that I saw James playing on the ferry to Ireland once, like last year. And I had my laptop with me and I started coding it, and then that was it. I didn't touch it for about a year. So there's our 8-bit version of the sample. Does it loop properly? Oh, pretty much. There's a, yeah. The note stops and it just, yeah. But it's not, it's supposed to be, as Nivrik was in last week, and as he said, I love how jank this is. So I'm taking that. That's kind of what I'm going for. So the idea is you have to stack up these tiles or these blocks as high as you can, and any part of the block that overhangs the block below it gets lost. So as you go up, the block gets smaller and smaller. Exactly, yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. But what I've done with the music, and it's gonna hurt your ears, John, because John, you like your you like your music. Listen. It pitches up with the screen position. It's so bad. Was it? My work here is done, Zuperdan. My work here is done. There you go. There you go. And that's it. So what? Yeah, there we go. And I think I'm going to add a high score table to it. I'm not sure I'm going to even have an option for switching off the music. Because, yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's the game. And we start again. Now, there is some sort of bug with, I want to try and catch that it occasionally blits outside the screen trying to trigger it, but yeah, I can't. I presume it has to be... Actually, I know what it is. I think I know what it is. It has to come from the top. Nope, I don't know what it is. That one, no. No, that'd be the lowest point. I must be catching it right at the wrong point. Okay, that's the music fixed. Fixed. So the other thing I wanted to do was the palette is a bit clunky. Like I said, the background gradient is just a palette stored on disk. It's a palette object and just like an image without the image. Literally just the palette. Actually, I don't know why it's white at the top. I also wanted to try and move the background a little bit, scroll it slightly with when the screen scrolls up. But anyway, the gradient, I don't know why it's grey and white at the very top of the screen. So let's have a look at how we're deploying that. That's display rainbow. It's a very simple command. I'm just changing copy 0, color 0 is the background, and I'm using palette 1. Palette 1 is just loaded from disk. bg2.pal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that and see if I can make it better. Where's my... So I'm going to use another tool. Palette ed, and this one uses so it's a program I wrote for editing palettes, and I quite like it for this kind of thing. It is exactly what I wrote it for, this kind of palette editing. So background2.pal. So that's our palette editor. If we look at this, like the first 4 colors at the top are quite a strong blue. So I don't know, is it just the overscan? So that top part wouldn't be visible anyway. I'm just looking at here. So maybe you can't see where I'm pointing. Maybe above the 0 here is actually beyond the screen. What? Let me see. What coordinate is the 0 at? Where's draw score? Show score. Oh, I'm using sprites for the score. That's going to make it awkward if I up the number of points you can get. I know I have plenty of sprites. I've got 0 and 1. Yeah, I've got loads of sprite channels free. It's at position 10, so it's only 10 pixels down from the top. It feels like it doesn't really go far enough into the overscan. I'm going to set this up at 0 just to see how it looks. Yeah, that's line 0. How do I set the back? Oh, do I set the background to the first color of the palette before I draw the screen? Because otherwise, why is that white? Or do I add on a color at the end of the palette? Is that palette getting wrapped around or something? Let's see. Let's see. So we can move the scores back to where they were. So if our palette looks like that, I have to figure out a better way of doing that. But for now, that's fine. What if we take that one and swap it with that one? Just going to save that and see what it looks like. Sorry, my voice is going already. It has been going bad all week. Let's see what that looks like. No, it has... Well, we're not showing the bottom of the palette here, so... But we're still white at the top. What is happening? Our palette. Do I have an undo on this? Did I make an undo? I did. I didn't undo. Not that far. Basically, I'm using a built-in Blitz command called display rainbow, and what that does is, I'm going to close this because we don't need this. So display rainbow is up at the top here, and it's opened. It should in a couplet. So as soon as the display is created, which is down here, so create display palette, and then display rainbow. So that should be it. Palette 0. So that basically that's it. So it's what that command does. I'll show you in the help file here. It doesn't tell you, because of course, why would it? But anyway, that is. It doesn't have the overview. If we go and look at the actual manual here, display library, and where is it? Advanced topics, program examples. Okay, here we are. Advanced copper control. Okay, so display rainbow. Still doesn't tell you what it does. But basically, display rainbow will set up the copper so that it takes each palette entry of the 256 palette entries and applies that to each line of the display. So what I need to do is figure out why that's white at the top and not, I don't have it open, why it's white at the top and not black. And that's basically it. So let me see. So, but it is set up right. It must be, because other than that, otherwise it wouldn't be working at all. So we set up that palette first with grey in the background. Sorry. Let's see if we set it to black. Does that what difference does that make to our game? Nothing there. Doesn't really make a difference. So we're not using that color at all because we're rewriting it with the copper. So that is not where the white is coming from. bg2.pal. Well, we'll swap those back because swap that one. That one. So round to 12 bits. So we can see here, this is what the palette actually looks like when it's rounded to 12 bits. You've got these few lines here, and that's what's happening is it's setting the palette every single line of the display, but it's a bit jank in the gaps in between. So I did have an idea last time to set it up manually. So instead of using well, let's save this. Instead of using let me see. Instead of using display round, see now that's changed it a little bit because I've rounded it there, and it's rounding it slightly differently to how Blitz itself rounds it when it loads it. Now, yeah, so I don't know what the story is with that white up there. But yeah, I was saying instead of using display rainbow, I could set I'm going to disable that now. I could set each individual line because the gradient only has maybe 10 or 15 colors. There's no point in having it set every single line. It's just using copper time. It doesn't cost anything, but because I'm not using the copper for anything else. But there's no point. So if I do that manually, and then hopefully I can, or move it down slightly as the tower gets higher. So just to create a sort of a slight parallax effect going upwards. That's the plan. Let's see if that works. Okay, so if we do this, we don't have the white stripe at the top. We still have grey, and I thought I switched that off. I don't know how that's happened. 0. Color register 1. So they're 3 different shades of grey. Pile 0, color register 0, 0, 0, 0. And oh, I see. Yeah, so I'm actually not doing anything here because the palette is set externally. It's actually loading the palette. So because there's a load palette there. Game pal. Let's see what that looks like. Load palette. Game palette. Okay, so this is what our game palette looks like. So yeah, so color 0 was grey anyway. And why does the color change before the end of the line? I'm not sure about that. That is a good question. I was wondering about that. On when opening screen, you can set color palette. So I'm not sure about that. I don't know why that is. And I wonder if it is a slight glitch in the emulation, or if it's just a Blitz thing, or if it's a chipset bug, or I honestly don't know. Oh yeah, no, I have it switched off. But yeah, that's a good question. What's the JASC palette format? Forgive my ignorance, Dan. It's an ILBM. So it's a CMAP chunk. So in an IFF ILBM file, you have different chunks. You've got the CMAP chunk and you've got your bit planes, and the CMAP is your palette, and the CMAP and BMAP, and BMAP is your bit planes. And so it's just an IFF ILBM file without the ILBM. So that's it. And Blitz does understand them directly, but if you give Blitz an image and you say load palette, it will just load the chunk, because that's how IFF works. It's a bit like XML, as in it's just a binary version, but it finds the hunks it needs, or the chunks it needs, and will ignore everything else. So when you load the palette, it doesn't matter if you've got bitmap data in there or not, it will just load it. Yeah, I like IFF. Simple rainbow demo sample. You know what? Let's have a look. Probably. In fact, I probably did one. Did I? Copy test. Background colors example. Is that it? No. Oh yeah, no. That's a coding, a programming thing. Because I'm sure I've done this. In fact, I'm certain I've done this for a previous game, or for maybe I did it for my Blitz tutorials a few years ago. I think that was it. I'll have to have a look at that. But let's see, in Blitz 3, is there source codes examples? Sometimes Blitz 3. Where's docs? Oh, there it is, docs. Amiga libs, no, Blitz libs. User libs, examples. No. Oh, what's that? Let's have a look. Display library commands. Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. Oh yeah, that's the one. I knew there was a page that had the full description on it. So display rainbow is used to alter certain colors vertically down display. Yeah, but that's it. It simply maps each color in a palette to the corresponding vertical position of the display. That's it. But that's all I have. So display rainbow, display scroll, display double scan mode. Custom colors. Custom colors is what I need. Yeah, custom colors. But it doesn't give any information about how to use that display rainbow command anyway. In a couplet 0. Oh, here's the thing. Number customs should be -1. Oh no, that's the wrong code. That's not. How is that even working? Where's our in a cop list? In a cop list. Yeah, it is -1. Okay, that's okay. We're fine. Panic over. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that down. So what I've done is having a 2x2 pixel IFF and load the palette from that. Yeah, but if you're in let's say like Deluxe Paint or Personal Paint, and you can just save you can literally just save the palette, and that will be in an IFF palette file, an IFF CMap file, and that's it. Or you can use palette ed. But yeah, so that's our game palette. 31. Yeah, custom color. Custom cop lets you insert your own copper commands, which is fine. You can do that. I'm trying to avoid getting to that low a level because it would take hours and hours and hours for me to get my head around it, and it'll be even slower to get results. But yes, the custom copper commands does that. Just see what those flags are. 10 and 5. Smooth scroll. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Mine too. Okay. Sprite. Now, buffer. What else are we doing here? Let's see if we can do it with create display and then custom colors, cop list 0, and then custom colors, custom cop list offset for the first one, that's 0. Y position, let's say 10. So this should coincide with the top of the numbers of the score. Custom colors, palette. Why do we want the palette? What's palette? Using custom colors, alter the display's palette at the given. The number of custom cops required is either 2 plus number of colors in AJ numcols. This palette and start calls. So this will change the palette. This will change it based on the palette entries that are there. So let's have a look at what happens when we do this. Y position palette. We'll use palette 1. Start color. Let's say 5 and number colors 2. Let's see what happens. Or do we have to do start call? Oh, no, it's going to be start call palette. Y position palette. Start color has to be 0 because we're changing color 0, I assume. And number of colors 2. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, we need to change our thing to our display in a cop list. So that's -1. So that's for the display rainbow. That's one command, 1 byte. But this needs 2 plus the number of colors. So we're saying 2 colors. So that'll be 4. But it's +4 because it's a custom command rather than a display command. What's happening here? So it is starting at 0. And it has changed the grey. It has changed the first 2 colors. Because that block at the bottom is supposed to be grey on top. And I think that grey is the second color in the palette. Yeah, look. There's the 3 colors of the block, and that was the background color. So numcols is 1. We're starting at position 10. Let's say we start at position 0. What does that do? Okay, so that's where it starts the blue, and it's only just 1 color that is put in. Why is the grey stripe there? Is the palette wrapping round? Maybe there's a way of controlling this. Hold on a second. Is the palette wrapping round? Y position, and also, even simpler. Let's put the Y position at -10. See what happens. Nothing. That's a shame, because you know, with sprites you can give a negative number and it's actually off the top border of the screen. So we start this custom color at 0. Let's do another one of these, and we'll do that at, so custom color CC offset has to be 2, and then Y position 100, palette start call we'll use palette 0 because we have to start color 0. All we're doing is copying like for like positions. You can't like copy pen 3 of a palette to pen 0 of another palette. It has to be pen 3 to pen 3, pen 0 to pen 0. So we need to add another 2 to this thing up here. So it's, what is it, 2 plus n, so it should be 3, so this needs to be 6. Make a full palette with just 4 colors and see how it looks. Yeah, let's have a look and see. Well, let's just make a new palette. We'll start with some salmon. It goes for some awful colors here. Red, green, blue, and white. Number of pens 4, and round to 12 bits, and let's save that as but see, what the problem is, I only want to copy one color over because the background is only 1 pen, so actually this isn't going to make a difference. Is this a copper rainbow command or one that lets you change color per line to give the appearance of more? This one lets you change the color per line, so I can change multiple colors per line. So that's what this is. This lets me change X number of colors in the palette to the equivalent colors in another palette on a given line. Now I don't know why the second one, oh, the second one I have the wrong offset. So have I? Custom copper's offset has to be 3. Yeah. But not just, no, I can change any palette, like you saw there the first time, that if I'm copying over palette color 0, okay, color 0. If I copy over color 1, then it will affect color 1 in the main palette, which is actually the color of the gray that's used in the bottom tile. So you can change any colors you want. Yeah, you can do that, and you can do that at any Y position. It does warn you that if you do that in AGA, it can take multiple lines because there's so many colors to change, and color changing on AGA is a little bit slower as well because you have to go through 2 sets of registers instead of just 1. But generally, that's the idea. Yeah, okay, so that's working as I expected. We get our gray back. What if that's not what I wanted? I've seen some games that do. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So if you've got bad guys at the top and good guys at the bottom, and they don't really cross each other, you can have a totally different palette for both. Or sprites in the top, sprites in the bottom. You can change the color of the sprites halfway down. Yeah, it's quite cool like that. And for, even especially in the sky, if you've got parallax and you've got, like, sort of clouds and stuff like that, if you never go up that high, you can set a totally different palette for them and then change it at a certain point. Custom colors. Yeah, it is pretty cool. That's one of the Amiga things, isn't it? So custom copies offset Y positions 100. And so what happened there? Sorry, I have to pay more attention. So that is letting us set the top color there. So the last color set wraps around to the top of the display. Good night, John. Thanks for dropping in. Good to see you. And sure, yeah, catch you again. Enjoy your night. So I should be able to set that top color by setting the bottom color here. So if I set that at line 200, there, that's fine. Line 240, let's see what happens. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. I'm running a 256 line display, haven't I? Bad things are happening. Bad things are happening. This is badness. I sense a crash. Are we okay? Are we okay? It didn't crash. That wasn't a crash. That was a corruption, but it was not a crash. 201. Why did that corrupt there? 220. Ooh. 210. Why is there a limit on this? Any chipset gurus in? 215. 212. 211. My limit is 210. Why is that? Why can I not set why can't I not set a copper command at line 210? This is going to be some hard-coded nastiness to do with assuming it's a 200 line display or something like that, isn't it? I'm not going to be happy if that's the case. That's very annoying. The game is running in PAL. I'm just going to double check that I have that set up properly. But like it's showing a 256 high screen. In a copy, yeah, 256. It's 256 lines. Y position, height, type, sprites, colors, random customs. Yeah, it's all in PAL. And I can draw down that far on the screen without getting corruption. Yeah. Honeytoes, I don't know if that's something that you might know about, if you're still there. It's a weird one. But yeah, basically custom colors is not letting me set and Aeroc, if sometimes he's magical at these things as well. He's not in. He might drop in later. He sometimes does. Something is not letting me set 210. No, New Zealand and Australia were both PAL as far as I remember. It was Japan that was NTSC, although they also had PAL. I think they tended to use both because yeah, keep your options open. Oh, that's annoying. What else is going on? Is there something going on at line 210? Am I doing anything? I can't think of anything that would be causing that. Bitmap's big enough, or else I'd be getting massive crashes as I drew down the way. Although I am clipping it. That's annoying because I want to set that color. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and welcome in, Amiga dude. It's just a case of why it's assuming why can't I use 20 lines? Let's see if I set this display to 200 lines. Where is it? Sorry, in a cop list. We'll set that to 200, so we'll be missing a bottom part of the bitmap. So it drops off at the same point. So that's now an NTSC capable display. Let's see what happens if we do it past 210 now. Do we still get the corruption? Yeah, it's exactly the same. Why? No, see, increasing the copper... Well, you know what, I'm going to try it. But that's just increasing the space for the custom commands, not actually the kind of location in the cop list. So it just creates a... see, 6 just creates enough space for two 3-byte commands, or 3-word commands, and they are located wherever. So you set the location with the actual commands. I mean, this is probably going to break the cop list, but yeah, that's not good. Okay, fine. What happens if we... Yeah, we're going to set it back to 256. What happens if we do 12, if we double it? In the custom colors command. Oh, where am I going? Sorry. Custom colors, the last parameter is number colors. Oh, look at that. Through 256 flag. Look. Look at that. Look at that. I bet you that's it. I bet you that's it. I bet you it has to be manually set. Oh, no, that's the wrong button. I didn't want to press that. Ah. I wanted to press that. It doesn't tell us what through 256 flag is. But I'm going to set that flag, and we're going to see what happens. Is it 1 or is it -1? So that's fine. Let's set it to 211. No. Damn it, I don't even know what that flag does. Or does it have to be -1? No. Nope, that's broken. 256. Well, that's definitely going to break. Yeah. I've overshot the end of the copy list. 255. What? 250? Where does my corruption start? 240? What's happened here? What's going on? What's going on? What the fuck? What does this flag do? What does this flag do? Yeah. Through 256 flag. What is that? Let's go and look at our thing. Advanced topics, the display library, and AGA. So, fine. No, dual play fields. Smooth scrolling colors. Always okay. Sprites, fetch mode, multiple displays, advanced copper control. Where was that page? I'm sure that page that Javier posted earlier is actually in here. Or was it Javier? Scroll. It was. That has to be in display library commands. Oh, I see. Long for the two forms. The first would allow the copper to affect the display every scan line, while the second defines a certain line for the copper to do its thing. These new commands include: the following require negative size, That notes that so many instructions must be allocated for every scan line of the display. That's fine because you're changing color every scan line. Display RGB. Why? Display library in AGA. Palette, slice display library. Here we go. This is the page that we were looking at earlier, or that I was looking at, and you couldn't see. Display palette, display controls. Display just custom colors. Custom color auto displays palette at the given Y position. The number of custom cops requires either 2 plus num colors for ECS and 2 plus num colors 3 times. So I guess that means it takes 3 cycles to change the palette. In AGA, num colors must be a multiple of 32, or 3 operations, sorry, to change a register. Custom string. Oh yeah, there's a custom cop list. Custom sprites and display double scan, display rainbow, display RGB. A single line version of display rainbow, allowing the programmer to alter any register of any particular line. As with display rainbow, ECS requires 1. Maybe that's the way to go. Can I do display RGB multiple times? Display RGB. Can I do that? Let's try it out. Cop list, register line 100. Let's say 1600. Fake background color image. Yeah. That's not the point. That's not the point. And also I'd end up using AGA as well. So I should just use AGA and have a beautiful 256 color gradient. But nah. No, must get that idea out of my head. I could do a lovely kind of rainbow color for the blocks as well. I did actually intend to change the colors, and speaking of what Zupadan was talking about earlier, that the size of the blocks is chosen that at their lowest point and the highest point, or not chosen, but it kind of like it works out that I would be able to change every block color, because after 16 blocks they wouldn't overlap, and I would be able to change the palette after 16 blocks have been laid down and have every 16 blocks have a new palette. Quite complicated to set up, but that would allow every block that's laid down to be a different color. But I didn't do that, and I might not do that. It's too complicated. Amiga Dude, thank you very much for that subscription. Why didn't we get the pop-up thing? Oh, there it is. Like, what? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yay. Okay, so display RGB. And so we need that's 16, or sorry, 1500. So that should be red, bright red. We need to go, and where is our in a cop list, and we need to set that to -1. Tedzog, hello, welcome in. How are you? This is working on this little game that I was working on. I'm not sure if you were here for this before. This is a silly little game where I'm stacking up the blocks and I'm trying to get a rainbow effect that I like in the background. That's basically it. Just faffing, trying to figure it out. How are you? Actually, we give you La 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 la. Give you a little shout out there. Zool CD32. There you go. Yeah, so this is a very, very simple game. Let's see what happens here. I was going to see if it works. Did it work? It did work. Oh, very cool. Did you win? I did not buy Zool. I got a pirated copy of it with a second-hand Amiga, and I did not think enough of it to buy it because I actually didn't like it. I didn't like it. I know some people love it. It's not for me. Now, that is very, very red. And again, we see the palette wrapping around. Now, let's see what happens if we set that at a lower level than 256. Was that not Virgin? Was it not Virgin that released that? Or am I imagining things? Display rainbow 220, 230. Yeah, let's go with 230. See if it works. Do we get corruption as well? That worked. But yeah, I'm not sure if you were here, but basically this is the game. If you stack up the tiles and you have a bit that's overhanging, they disappear. Ah, okay, try, I see, sorry, yeah. So any overhanging bits get lost, so your block gets smaller and smaller as it goes up. The game also speeds up, as does the music as it scrolls up. I'm blaming the WinUE lag for that. Okay, so it looks like we can set colors with this one where we want. Now, can I set multiple ones? Because that worked at 240. Perish the thought, is it going to work at 250? It is. What if 255? Oh. Why? I don't think it works at 255. Let's try 254. Yeah, 254. Okay, so yeah, because I guess you set it for the line where the instructions are, but there's no line after 255. That would make sense, and I guess it's just triggering a funny error. Welcome in, Alexandra. Yeah. You don't understand my game. you don't understand my choices. Okay. CinemaScope look. Oh yeah. Just because you said that, let's where's the load palette? Load palette. Load palette. Like this? You know what? There's something to that. That's quite cool, actually. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But what I actually want to do is set the palette at various points on the screen. So let's see if I can change the palette. Display RGB in 3 different places. So let's do it at 50, 125. This is going to hurt your eyes, folks. Oh, avert your eyes, avert your eyes. Oh no, I didn't set the right... Oh, it did work. Wow, actually. I was surprised that worked because I didn't think it was going to work. Because I put in multiple commands and each one should have an offset and Why? I'm not sure why that's working. That's actually worrying. Because copper offset. Oh, it's automatic. It's automatically choosing a copper offset. Because I haven't set it. Because the copper offset, basically, when you're setting custom copper commands, your copper offset is where they are in the cop list. So if you kind of reserve, let's say 20 words of space, and each command takes 3 words, you have to say the offset of the first command is 0, the second offset is 3, the offset of the third command is 6, and so on. Because we saw earlier that the thing didn't work at all when I had the offset set wrong, because one command was overwriting the previous command. So nothing happened. It was just garbage, and the copper said, no, not doing that at all. Or maybe it was writing to some random register. And I didn't. It luckily didn't crash anything. But that's cool. Now let me just check. What the top of our screen is blue. Can I set a minus value for this? No, I cannot. 0. See, it still leaves this. Still have this line at the top. So at least now we can set it at 255. We can set the palette for the top of the screen, so that we don't have a weird kind of overlap. I just don't understand why that is, why we have that. So we could just set 00254 and set it to 0, and that will give us just black at the top. Like that. We still get a little bit of grey. So that's the original colour. We can then do this, and we should get rid of that grey altogether. So now we have control of every line except for the very, very bottom. Where did blue go? Oops. What happened? Oh, we got rid of it. We did. So yeah, sorry, 0. So that's black. So I think what we need to do is just sacrifice one line off the bottom of the screen, and then we can set the, with that we can set the top band to whatever we want. So, and up high, so let's set us up a 16 color palette. That's the sky color that we want. So it'll start at the dark blue and go down towards white. Load BG2. So if we start at this dark blue here, number of pens, and what did I say? 16 colors. And so we're starting at the blue, and this, which means this one should be the white. This one, oh, we can't do that. This one, let's just set that to white. Okay, and then we'll do a spread from there to here. Oh, now we can see the interfaces. It's just so much nicer. We're going to save that as BG3. And we're going to load that in. Well, exactly, yeah, and that's probably is it, because whenever you have a copper list starting, you've got a couple of pixel lines where you don't have control of the thing. So if you look at when you drag screens down, in that little band, the mouse pointer actually disappears as well. It's kind of yeah, I'm doing this. The mouse pointer sits behind that band, so it's literally where the display is not working for like 2 or 3 lines. So we can set the palette for that, and that means we can disappear it effectively. So that's like lines -1, -2, -3 or something. Load palette 1. And what we can do then is we've loaded that in, so this is dirty. Next die, and then yeah, we'll just comment this out. So what we're doing is display RGB 0, register line is I times 16. Oh, we did want to do that, didn't we? To keep it black at the bottom. And then we're going to do pal red is a function that returns us the colors from. Oh, let's use palette 1. Pal red register I. So we're going to read the values of the palette and set it properly. Set it manually, sorry. Need to run a bath, taking the airbox in my car. Oh, lovely. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds pants all right. Yeah, it's fun when you're working on these things, and you know, it's like, this is a great idea for someone sitting in an office many miles away designing the car from scratch. It's like, yeah, let's put it in here, let's do this, I can fit it in here. We'll save ourselves 5 centimeters for a fancy bit of plastic at the front or something. Yeah. Okay, let's see what this looks like. See if this actually even allows us to do it. No currently used object. Oh, pants. No currently used. Oh. How is this? How? Palette info. What palette? Okay, so it's not use palette. Palette info. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Definitely better than it was. Now, we still have alternating, because what's happened is we've got this phasing between, I presume the blue is jumping by, let's say, 4, well, 16, 4 by 1, but the grey, so whatever other colour is in there, red I suppose, is jumping every 4 lines instead of every 2. Can you get rid of the step? See, the problem is I can change the colour every single line of the display. But, this is a big but, I cannot, there aren't any colours in between. So if I want to fade from blue just to a paler blue, like that, like a sky, I can't, because without AGA you just don't have the colour resolution. So you're limited to 16 shades of blue. So that's it, you know. That's the problem. And if we look at how the palette actually looks in the palette editor, we can see that. So if we're in there, so that's 34, 34, 153. So 34, 48, 63, 78, 92, 107. So red and green. See, the thing is, the Fairy Company has this game, and someone's made it in like Unity or something like that. So it's got perfect 3D rendered blocks and a perfect gradient in the background. It doesn't even have music though. But you know, like the thing is probably like a gigabyte in size, and it's the same game. You know what I mean? But it's just rendered on a full HD screen. Well, yeah. Sit there, 16 pixel sprite was the name of the game to try and hide that step. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I see what you're saying now, Amiga Dude. Think of the last 16 pixels on the right. I don't know what's causing that. I honestly don't know, and I think that's an emulation glitch, or either that, or it's actually a feature of the chipset. I'm not sure. I have to do it on real hardware and look, but I think normally you wouldn't even be able to see that. It's way over at the ends of the overscan, so you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. You could do it in ham and 100% over engineered. Yes, yes. 4096 colors in the background. Jesus, you know, there's a thing. I've never really coded for ham before. I would need to implement the blocks as sprites to get the smooth, to avoid fringing at the ends. That's oh, stop putting ideas in my head now. Stop it. Okay. So yeah, so this is what I want to look at. I need to add keyboard control to this program, because I want to be able to step through that with the not listening. La 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 la. So this is going up at 34, 48. So that's going up 14 at 63. What is it? 48, 60, 48 to 63 is 15. 15. 78 to 92, 14. So they are going up in 14s or 15s, mostly 15s, but that's the red and green. But the blue is going up in 153, 159, 6, 7, 6, 7. Anyone who has kids, fucking what? Yeah, imagine what the Fairy Company would pay me. Yeah, certainly wouldn't cover the amount of hours I've poured into it. So they're actually going up. It's just where some of them skip 14 and 13. We're not skipping the same amount in the blue, and that's kind of the problem. So let's see if we can adjust that. If we can tweak that. So that's a step of 14, and we're jumping 6. So now that's a step of 15. We're jumping 7. Okay. 15. Oh, we're jumping 7. Okay, actually, no, you know what? This actually is working out. What was that one? 14. We're jumping 7. Okay, let's scratch that idea. They're actually lining up. Oh, no, they're not. 92 and 107. It's 15 and 7. No, they are lining up. They're actually lining up perfectly. So it is just a case of they're the nearest colors in between. Okay, anyways, I'm not that bothered now with that. I think it looks a lot better than it did. Now, how do I adjust them? Nivrig, hey, welcome in. We were talking about you earlier. we were saying how the glowing review I got last week of I love how jank this is. But I have been faffing with the cop list from the Blitz Basic side, and I've managed to wrangle it into a much nicer situation than it was. So that's our cop list now, and I have fixed that the white at the bottom was wrapping round to the end, so that actually looks kind of the way I want it to look. I know that the blue is kind of slightly out of phase in every second line. Fadey and all evenly spaced, and what I want to do is I'm just going to try if every second one is looking slightly more red. Is it a case of just dropping the red back? See, see, of course, that's rounded to 12 bits, isn't it? Oh, no, there we go. Best you can do a 4. Exactly, yeah. I'm trying to make it slightly better, because look, if I round it to 4, you can actually see every second one is. This is what I should have done. Oh yeah, you see what's happening is the red and green are moving every line, whereas the blue is only moving every second line, because it doesn't have as much distance to go, because the blue is already quite high up. You know, it's because it's blue. So if I actually fade that down to a lower, we might get better. But then it's a grey fade rather than a blue fade. Fuck it, I'll just leave it as it is. We were talking about switching to AGA or ham just to get a nice smooth gradient on it. I think that's like, for such a game to require that is just massive overkill. But anyways, it's looking alright. Here's the thing, Nivrig, in your Janky, exactly. In your travels through the chipset, have you come across this business on the right here where it steps up? I think that's an emulation artifact. See, on the end of each line it goes up by 1 pixel. I think that's it starting the next line too early, because I think that's just a sort of an artifact of the emulation rather than anything else. Does that ring a bell for you? Right here, baby. Yeah, cool. Okay, so there's no fixing of that to be done. That's fine. Excellent. Happy days. Right. Cool. That works. What was the next thing to do? Oh, I wanted to move. No, oh yeah, it's just it could be a chipset thing that is just rendering. It just starts rendering at so many clocks past the end of the screen. Or the copper changes the path. So that's because I imagine that's not normally a visible part of the screen, because I just have max overscan set on WinUAE. Gradient Blaster. What is this about? Well, I can kind of guess. I would check the weights in the copper list too, but I don't really know how to do that, because I'm doing it from a Blitz Basic side, so it's kind of, I'm getting Blitz to do the copper list for me. This is cool. I'm just looking at this website. This is quite cool. But yeah, that is showing similar kinds of patterns. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I might have a look at that afterwards. That feels like something I'm going to have to sit down, because every time I use that debugger, I'm like, oh, I can't remember the commands. I can't remember, and I have to spend 20 minutes looking up the webpage for it. Yeah, I will. That's actually quite handy. I will have to bookmark that. But even now, I'm looking at that. I'm seeing that a blue to white fade has every second line has more red in it, because like Nivrig says, because you got 4 bits per gun. Oh, my voice is going. That's sore. Yeah. So Now, for my next trick, I want to scroll that. So when the screen fills up, it scrolls down by 10 pixels and it does this smooth little whoop scroll. I want to move the background by 5 pixels. Now, I understand that I would have to stretch out the palette a bit for that, but I don't know how to even do that. Because can I unset these, where is it? Oh, there's display RGB. Because I can't unset these. Does it have built-in help? I should probably know that. I'll have to look it up. I definitely will, because it's bugging me. I don't think it's that big a deal, but it's bugging me that's there, and I have noticed that in other things as well. Like sometimes you get like 1 pixel from the left over on the right as well, and I'm not sure if that's an emulation thing or if that's a chipset feature, bug feature. Display RGB. How do I unset display RGB? Or do I just add more? Undocumented feature. Maybe. Feature, bug, whatever. I'm going to try. I'm going to see what happens if I do. Where's my scroll? Where's my scroll routine? Finished move. Frame count. There's my quality. There's where all the magic happens. Frame count +1. Yeah, so there's me moving the cam wide. This is this is the disgusting bit here. Yeah. Remember, Nivrig, we were saying earlier last time that I was squishing the samples trying to get them into 64K. Turns out it's 128K. It's 64K 16-bit words. So now the samples are twice the quality they used to be. Anyways, our camera moves up 1 on the screen. Cam Y equals 0. So what we need to do is our cam Y. What do I want to do here? Let's just paste that line there. This is what I want to use. So if we've got an even number, that's the right notation for that, isn't it? No. Odd number. Odd number. Next die. Let's see. What's our X position? Where does our reset game? Where's reset game? What's our cam Y starts? 256. Oh, okay, I knew that. Where was I? Here we are. So no more, yeah. Yeah, but see, this isn't going to be working the same way. This is going to be working slightly differently because cam Y offset. So that should be no, we'll do it a different way. Reset game. Where's reset game? Let's set up a new thing. Blocks X, blocks Y. So we're going to set up where did we do that PAL offset? Where's cam Y? Where did we set that up? Surely we initialize it somewhere. Do we? What? Surely I have this defined somewhere properly. Oh, I do. Yes, there we go. Spell, Rob, spell. Palette offset. So what we'll do is every time we count down cam Y, I equals 0 to 15, I'm going to we're going to increment that. So every time cam Y goes through 2, we go through 1, and then we just take that away from that. 15, 16 pixel bars and the next 15 colors from there. Yeah, so that's it. But what this is doing is eventually, if you scroll up by 16 lines, you're going to end up with, or with 16 palette entries, you're going to end up with a full palette list, a full cup list. So every line, the color's changing. I don't know how to remove the currently operative one, but as we move up, oh, we wanted to move down, don't we? We wanted to move down. Camera determines where in your extended palette to start color and offset, and then have set lines in the start color and 15 the next 15 colors. Yeah. Yes, except well, yeah, it would be 1 minus or 0 minus, it would be 256 minus cam Y, because cam Y starts and goes down. So that's us working towards the top of the bitmap. Oh, I can't get my head around this. My head is bursting. And you can probably hear it. I'm in a bad way here. Yes, and Nivrig especially, excuse the multiply there. This is just so it works in my head. Let's see if it does what I think it's going to do, but I don't think it is actually. I tell you why, because I think it's going to move down within the same stripe. Yeah, let's see if we can get it to move by 16. No, it hasn't. I thought it might have started moving by now. No, that hasn't worked. Why? I see what you're saying. I'm just trying to get it right in my head. Camera determines where in your extended palette to start. So yes. So so we just move the whole thing down. I mean, that in my mind, that's what should be happening here. I am getting it right. If I do an and that. Well, let's put this in so it's every line. Initial value of pal offset is 0. So we're adding 1 each time. No. Yeah. Okay. Oh. I've driven it off the end of the cop list. Yeah. Because this is actually in the game loop, I'm going to do that. So oh. Let's put that there, and then if yeah, Jesus. Let's see what happens. This could go spectacularly wrong. Oh, okay. We're scrolling. Yes. It's not perfectly synchronized, but that's. Oh, I didn't reset it. That actually looks all right, except we're reintroducing the white at the top. So when we do that, we also have to set the bottom line to black, which is what we have up here. This one here. You know what? We might not even need to do that because we're overwriting the 255 line there. So if we don't overwrite it, it should stay as black. So now let's change that to every second line and see if we get some parallax action going on. We get nothing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, parallax. I don't know why it didn't kick in until much later. And we're keeping our black at the top of the page, at the top of the screen, and our gradient's moving down. What if we just stretch the? Oh no, that's getting too complicated. Like they're 16 pixel bands. Maybe stretch them to 17, 18 pixels. Oh, another thing I wanted to do down at the bottom there, I wanted to actually get rid of the last 2 lines of the display. I'm going to sacrifice 2 lines because that lets us set the palette in the overscan region at the top, and I don't know how else to do that. So we're going to make our screen 254 pixels instead of 256. happy with how that looks, although I'm not sure why it's not kicking in until later on. 254 pixels. What now? Oh. Now I'm beyond the end of the... Oh, yeah. Scratch that. I can't. Yeah. Fine. Fine. Well, let me think about this. So, when it does the scroll, cam Y is moving. Every second cam Y pixel, it should update the cop list. It's a band out. That's what it is. So it's starting at the top of the band. That's why I said earlier it wouldn't work, because it's starting, each band is like, let's say position 0, and then when it scrolls you get position 1, but that's still in the same band, so it hasn't. Yeah, so we can add an offset to that. What's PAL offset? If we set PAL offset to 15 when we reset the game, PAL offset. Where's PAL offset? 15. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Ooh. I just deleted an entire line there. Okay, maybe that's not the way to go. Okay. What if we just do it at 10? No. It's like it's not actually updating it for the first few steps. Why? Where are we going? Where is it? PAL offset plus 1. So that'll be 0 plus 1. So this, yeah, still within the first band, but why is it jumping? Do we need to add it there? No, it's still jumping. What am I missing there? What am I missing here? Oh. We can reset it afterwards. What is going on here? I think it's time for debug mode. See what those values are doing. We have cam Y there, do we? Oh my god. Spelling. Right. PAL offset, yeah, that's fine. Cam Y, fine. Copper's below the black upper stripe. Ah, maybe. But it should only be kicking in at line 0. PAL offset is 5. PAL offset's 10. PAL offset's 15. Yeah, so it takes 3 goes for it to basically... That was weird. When you just pause for a second. It takes... yeah, it takes 3 goes for it to get 15 pixels down and start affecting the next line. What am I missing here? Yeah, no, that's not what I want. Okay. So cam Y, okay, so cam Y -1. So we're in scroll mode. Cam Y and -1. Frame count plus 1, so it's 10 frames. That's that's definitely updating every frame, every second frame, because when it catches, it does scroll fine the way I want it to. If we get rid of this, let's see, 10, 15. So it's going to start moving on this one. See what I mean here? See over there on the right, we got 1 single pixel of all the text on the left. I don't know if you can actually see it there, but it's just a row of pixel just where the X's are sticking out and touching like the pixel 0 of the screen. Anyways, that's besides the point. This one is going to scroll us. Let's see what happens. What? Okay. I can't understand why this is not working, or why this is doing what it's doing. So if it's 10, so the palette offset is actually 10 at the moment, let's say. Yes, they are, yeah. So I don't know how to get rid of them. Yeah. So that's where it started to scroll with the offset. But yeah, okay. So that has jumped. It's just an alignment thing, is it? 10 pixels. Nope, nope. So that's 10 pixels. It still jumped by we do 14. But yeah, like the thing is that the previous one's there, so they should either get overwritten at the lines that they're at, or they remain there, but they don't do anything because they're within a band of the color already. That's what I'm thinking. So is that 14, the PAL offset? So that's gone up to 19. I'm just trying to get my head around what's actually happening here. If we do 2, offset of 2. So that's at 7 now. 12. This is going to start it. Yeah, it's just an alignment thing. Or is it? So PAL line is going to be 0 plus the PAL offset. So if it, let's say it's moving down 3 pixels. Oh, this is bugging me. So maybe it wasn't an offset thing. So maybe giving it that 2 means that when it starts scrolling, when it finally does catch, it jumps 2 pixels. And that's why it doesn't look so bad. First time you set color 0, Y0, and color 1. Color 1 still being set color 0. Yeah. Yeah, because the original... yeah. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, yes, thank you. That makes sense. Crash count is 0. I've had plenty of screen corruption. It has been... I've dodged many bullets, I think, because, yeah, the crash count has been... because, I've corrupted copper lists and it's gone all over the place and you get corruption and then you quit out and it's fine. And I don't know how I didn't overwrite anything, but maybe because I don't have much going on in there other than, other than the actual graphics. So it's just a big puddle of empty chip RAM. So I think I've managed to dodge that. But yes, we've had plenty of issues and yeah. I've got an annoying little thing that I'm trying to, if you just didn't see this, I'm trying to, I don't know if you have seen this before, but this is my silly little game. You stack up the tiles and you lose whatever's overhanging. So the tile gets smaller and smaller as it goes up. It also gets quicker. And when it gets to the top of the screen, it starts scrolling. and I want the cop list at the back, or I want the gradient to scroll with it, or to, you know, to give it a slightly parallaxy kind of thing. But it doesn't start scrolling until I've basically caught up with the first line, and I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Yeah, fun times, fun times. It's all good. Oh man. But yeah, I definitely don't have the head for this. I've been dying with some sort of cold or something all week, and yeah, my voice is giving out here. Right, a few more minutes of this, and then I'm going to my bed. PAL offset. Okay, so I don't want to rewrite all 256 lines. What if I do something like this? So what'll the next one be? Yeah, why? Equals 16. So, copper slide, exactly, yeah. I can't get my head around, so I'm going to do some trial and error. PAL line plus 15. But color 1 still being set at y equals 16. So let's say we have an offset of 15. That'll be PAL line plus 1. We'll be 1 behind, wouldn't we? And we set that to the same color. What happens there? What happens there? So we should be overwriting the one ahead of us with the same color instead of the next color. I don't know. No, I've just moved the entire thing down. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Badness is happening. Yeah, yeah, I know. Never, just to fix it for me, just fix it. So yeah, no. So look, we're setting the line 15 ahead, but the 16 ahead is still the old one. So you need to set the previous y of the next color to the current color. Oh, so I have to go minus down the way. So I have to check if, yeah, okay. So if I just for readability, if I are greater than 0. Oh, what's that going to be? Minus 16. And that is... Oh. No, not quite. What happened there? Nope. Previous white to the current color. Current color. Okay. Is that what you mean? Would that be it? So we're not erasing the... Let's see. Nothing moved. Oh well. Start stretching it. Y of where I plus 1. Work out save where Y of where color I plus 1 was set previously. Yeah. So the Y of where color I plus 1 was set previously. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Save Y of where color I plus 1 was set previously. Oof. There's too many jumps for my head. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, okay. Right, let's do that. I minus 1 4 plus pal offset minus 1 plus 15 minus pal offset plus 14. I haven't even done anything with that number. Oh, very well spotted. And then we are... Yeah. Is that it? Let's see if we can get the crash counter to work. Yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I understand this, and I kind of, whoa, that's cool. It's like opening the blinds. Oh. Oh, I need to sit down with some graph paper and figure this out. It's... But that was an interesting effect, though. I mean, it kind of works there. It just looks a bit weird. It's a bit of extra jank because it doesn't scroll at the same time. Pants. So, do we base it all on cam Y? Instead of counting a separate palette offset? Shouldn't make a difference though, really. You know, this is hurting my head. I'm gonna leave it at that, I think. Display, yes. 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 If only he was here. Yes, but being able to just delete them out of the copper list, because I know I could go in and I could poke knobs into it or something like that. Yeah, I'm trying not to deal with that side of it. It's like, what's the point in using basic otherwise? Because once you get there, that's exactly what I want. It just takes 20 pixels to get there. Oh, hold on a second. You have just very, very dim light bulb off somewhere now that there is a command for restoring, for taking a copy of the cop list and then copying it back in. I think there's another library for faffing about with the cop list like that. That way. Alright, copper lib. What's in there? Copper reset. Oh, would you look at that? Sets up the copper library to work on a certain cop list. Oh, this is using... I would have to rework it using these versions of the commands. Ooh. Ooh, you see, I haven't looked at these because I've just been using the standard Blitz copper commands. But this is cool, actually. The address of the internal library inference. Oh, that's its own stuff. Okay, so I can... Yes, you could. Basically, there we go. Yeah, you see what the problem is? I'm trying to erase previously placed copper commands. But, you know, I could, yeah. I could, copper skip, not copper skip. This command allows you insert a skip instruction. That's not going to work, is it? Doing a copper color fade. Ooh. So I haven't used this library before. I think this is one I need to look at because it looks a little bit slightly lower level than the Blitz included ones, because I should just be able to replace those commands with a copper skip +1 or something, shouldn't I? Or +4. Just to get rid of them. Am I understanding that right? Why copper AGA color? Setting AGA colors is a pain in the arse. Instructions allow you to do this easily. I thought you could already do that with the standard one. 4 copper instructions inside your copper list. Can you construct a new copper list and set it on the screen? Yeah. You mean remake the in a cop list? Is that going to happen in a display? Wait, there's our in a cop list. Ooh, let's try something here. Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Is that going to take too many cycles though? Is that going to be like, you know, freeze for several frames? If we re-init this, is that going to? You know, let's find out. Wait till this whole thing comes crashing down. Yes, a couple of blank frames is exactly what we need. Yeah. Oh, oh, it didn't like that. Still playing, still playing. No, that doesn't work. Oh dear, oh dear. No crash. No crash. That's a no. Definitely, definitely a no. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there because my voice is absolutely dying on me. What time are we? Oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to bed with the Lemsip, and I'm going to go and look at that new copper library and have an experiment with it over the next week or two, and just see if there's something in it. But yeah, that'll do. Thanks very much for dropping in, guys. That was Bailey's time. I drank it all. Oh, Bailey's time for you. Yes. Hot lemon time for me. I bet. Oh, I've got family stuff on tomorrow, so I'm up early. But let's see if there's anyone around to raid. Oh, Kiffer will be doing his snack time. Kiffer's worth a raid for snack time. Where at 11 o'clock you predict the snack he's going to have. So let's give him a raid and see what happens. Did I? Oh, I'm so sorry. Hashtag sorry not sorry. We'll have to have a Bailey soon. Are you going to oh, what's it called? Kickstart. Because I'll probably see you there if so. Good stuff. Yes, let's do that. Where's my window gone? Cool. Well, I will be at Kickstart, I'm nearly sure. And I will see you there. Okay, let's go and raid Kiffer. We'll be just in time for snack time. And I won't be staying long. Oh my god. Oh, you're driving. Ah, cool. Will you be driving by this way, or are you driving by Liverpool? Where are we? Where's he? Cool. Let's read. From Karen Ryan. Oh, cool. Jeez, you're not all that far from me then. Convoy, maybe. We'll see. Okay, right, listen, thank you very much, guys. Good night to you all, and I'll see you next time.
Daedalus raiding with a party of 10. Welcome, welcome, raiders. How are you doing this evening? We are playing Underrail still. The counter says episode 40. This is a lie. Thank you, Jimmy, for doing the shout out for Daedalus. We are deep in the under caverns of the game. We are this sneaky fellow here, sneaking very slowly. Just in time for scams. When the wind blows. You thought of it as a Christmas. Is that the one about the old couple who have to survive nuclear fallout? Jesus.